What happened to their homes? Find out where did the Chrisleys live in Georgia. The story of the Chrisley family has always been intertwined with luxury, drama, and a level of southern grandeur that made their lifestyle as fascinating as their television presence. Long before courtrooms, prison terms, and public controversies reshaped the family's path, their lives were anchored in a series of Georgia homes that became symbols of both their prosperity and the carefully manicured image they shared with viewers. As interest in their every move continues to intensify, an inevitable question rises again and again. What happened to their homes, and where exactly did the Chrisleys live during their Georgia years? Their property history reads like a catalog of lavish dreams, an evolving timeline of moves and upgrades that reflected Todd Chrisley's desire to project status and perfection. The family's residences were more than mere places to sleep at night. They were backdrops for a lifestyle brand built with marble floors, grand staircases, polished interiors, and the signature blend of Southern refinement and showmanship that Todd often displayed on television. Georgia became the stage for their most memorable moments, both scripted and unscripted. The real story of their homes offers an intimate look at the rise and fall of a family that lived large, loved attention, and eventually faced consequences that reached far beyond their gated driveways. During the height of their fame, the Chrisleys lived in some of the most impressive homes in Georgia. Each property carried its own story, its own energy, and its own echoes of the family's very public dynamics. These residences became well known to fans who followed every detail of their lives, admiring the lavish kitchens, expansive living rooms, pristine gardens, and glamorous decor choices that matched Todd's flair for perfection. Their Georgia homes did not simply host family dinners and film crews. They became characters in their narrative, representing success and the belief that life could be both disciplined and beautiful if managed correctly. Over time, the homes also began to reflect pressure beneath the surface. While the family projected confidence and charm, their financial realities were far more complex. The grand properties that once stood as proof of success eventually became entangled in legal issues, public speculation, and financial unraveling. The shift from luxury to instability changed the meaning of these residences for both the family and their followers. Fans who once admired the homes for their grandeur soon viewed them as relics of a lifestyle that could not withstand the weight of mounting scrutiny. Before their legal troubles reached full force, the Chrisleys spent their Georgia years in upscale neighborhoods known for exclusivity and prestige. Their homes were often framed by manicured lawns, elegant gates, and surroundings that exuded peace and security. Inside, the design elements told a story of ambition and a desire to impress. Todd Chrisley was always vocal about creating an environment that represented who he believed the family was. He wanted order, beauty, and a home that embodied the best version of the Chrisley name. The Georgia properties allowed him to craft that vision, offering space for both family life and filming their hit show. However, these same homes later became part of the public conversation as financial investigations intensified. Questions about ownership, expenses, and the true value of their properties began circulating widely. What was once considered the proof of their prosperity shifted into a symbol of the challenges they were about to face. Viewers who once wondered how the family maintained such a polished lifestyle suddenly found themselves asking how real the image had been all along. The homes that once elevated their fame became reminders of the delicate balance between perception and truth. As their legal issues escalated, the fate of these Georgia homes changed dramatically. Properties that had once been filled with laughter, filming crews, and meticulously arranged furnishings now carried the weight of legal proceedings and uncertainty. Some were sold, others became part of financial negotiations, and a few were left behind entirely as the family attempted to rebuild their lives in different circumstances. For many fans, the transition marked the end of an era. The Chrisleys were no longer the family that floated effortlessly through immaculate hallways and expansive foyers. Their homes, once symbols of stability, became part of a story defined by loss and reinvention. In the years before prison, their final months in Georgia were marked by decisions that reflected both emotional attachment and unavoidable reality. Todd and Julie had long expressed pride in their ability to create a warm and elegant home environment, but the shifting legal landscape made certain choices inevitable. Properties that were once seen as untouchable became part of a long list of assets subject to change. For the family, the emotional toll of stepping away from homes where they shared milestones, celebrations, and personal growth was profound. Even though their relationship with Georgia remained strong, the physical houses that once defined their lives could no longer remain part of their future. The question of where the Chrisleys lived in Georgia now carries a sense of nostalgia for many longtime fans. Their homes were central to the charm of their early television success, representing the polished Southern life that set them apart from other reality stars. Viewers became familiar with the elegant staircases, the pristine kitchens, the carefully decorated rooms, and the sense of order that Todd insisted on maintaining. These properties became inseparable from the family's identity, and their absence leaves a noticeable gap in the story of who the Chrisleys once were. Today, the discussion about the Chrisley homes in Georgia is not only about real estate. It is about the transformation of a family that went from television royalty to individuals navigating the aftermath of serious legal consequences. The homes serve as landmarks in a broader narrative of ambition, illusion, public scrutiny, and the desire for redemption. They remind followers of the complexities behind the glossy surface, and the reality that even the most impressive exterior can conceal struggles that are far more difficult to manage. Even as the family's circumstances shifted, the legacy of their Georgia homes continues to interest fans. People still ask where the properties were located, what became of them, and how the family felt leaving them behind. The answers reveal a blend of regret, acceptance, and understanding that life can change in ways no one expects. These homes played a pivotal role in shaping the image of the Chrisleys during their rise to fame, but they also marked the chapters of transition when their world began to change. The story of what happened to their homes is ultimately a reflection of the family's evolution. Their Georgia residences became symbols of the highs and lows of a journey filled with ambition, discipline, love, conflict, and resilience. While the homes no longer belong to them, the memories and the impact they left remain significant. They stand as reminders that the places where people live can define more than just their daily routines. They can capture moments in time, reflect personal growth, and influence how a family is perceived by the world. The Chrisleys may no longer walk the halls of their once iconic Georgia estates, but those homes remain rooted in the collective memory of fans who watched their lives unfold. They represent not just where the family lived, but who they were during some of their most important years. Even as the family faces ongoing challenges and works toward rebuilding their lives, the legacy of their Georgia homes continues to shape the story of a family once defined by luxury and now defined by transformation. If you want, I can also write a shorter version, a headline-style version, or a more dramatic creative rewrite.